Whatever it is that you do it for yourself. Do it for the person that you believe that you are. Do it for the person that you want to become. Do it for the skills that you want to develop for yourself. Do it for what you want to feel. Don't do it for other people. Don't do it for the reaction that you think your action is going to create. Don't do it for the response that you're expecting other people to have. Don't do it for that, because that you cannot control. And if you're continuously doing things because of the response that you are hoping that they will create, you're going to be disappointed, and that's going to stop you from being who you are meant to be. Ask yourself, who do you want to be? What kind of person are you? What does that person do? How does that person feel? How does that person show up in the world? Think about all of those times where you have done something because you believe that that is the person that you are, that is who you want to be, and you don't get the response from the world that you would actually like to get. And then you start to question why you're even doing that thing. Think back about the times where you have actually stopped to be yourself because the world didn't encourage you to continue being that way. But ultimately, why did that even matter? Why did you actually stop being who you wanted to be, who you believed you were? Because somebody, maybe it was only one person, didn't reflect back to you what you felt you needed reflected back at you in order to continue to be who you are. Think about the times when you have smiled to someone and they don't smile back at you, or you have said, hey, good morning, and then they don't reply. Or maybe you give a compliment to someone and they react in a way where it's like, why are you complimenting me? And then that slowly starts to create doubt in you, and you start to wonder, why am I being this way? Why am I trying to be so nice? Or why am I trying so hard in this area when the world is not reflecting back to me those qualities? But why would it have to if you have decided that that's the person that you want to be? Why are you expecting a certain response to validate the person that you have decided that you want to be? Because if you really are that person, then it doesn't matter how the world responds to you. If you really are that person, you will continue to smile at people. You will continue to give compliments to people. You will continue to put in the work. You will continue to be solution oriented, or you will continue to be whatever definition that you have for yourself is. You will continue to be that because that's just who you are. And so many times we let the world and how the world is responding to how we are in different situations, we let that pull us away from who we want to be at the core of ourselves. And that's why my invitation for you today is to remind yourself, why are you doing what you do? Is it to create a certain response, a certain reaction in other people, or is it for you? Take back control of the why. Take back control of why you do things. Do them for you. Do them because that's just who you are. Do them because you know that you're going to develop a certain skill if you continue doing this thing. Do it because you like how you feel when you do that thing. Do it because when you do that thing, you just feel good about yourself. Do it because that's what you want to do. And as long as you're not harming anyone else, you don't need to get any response or any reaction from the world in order to continue doing what it is that you're doing. So remove from your actions the expectation that they need to create a specific reaction, that they need to create a specific result out there in the world, that they need to change someone out there from one thing to the other. You know, I'm not asking you to always keep up the same level of enthusiasm. I'm not asking you to never doubt yourself. I'm not asking you to stop having thoughts or stop reacting in a way that you feel down when you don't get the response from the outside world that you were expecting. I'm not asking you to not be human. I'm not asking you to just become this person that is unbothered by the external world from one day to the other. I'm not asking you to do that. What I'm asking you to do is to just take a moment when you notice that you are stopping to be who you actually want to be. I'm asking you to take a moment and pause and ask yourself why you're doing that. I'm not asking you to not be angry or sad or discouraged in those moments. You can be all of that. And I'm not even asking you to not change who you are for a few minutes or a few days when you are reacting to that feeling. What I'm asking you is to observe as that is happening and come back to your center and really question in those moments what is happening and choose yourself once more. Take a moment to process, take a moment to acknowledge that maybe, you're not extremely happy about not having gotten the response that you wanted from the external world, but don't let that dictate who you're going to be tomorrow. Choose yourself again. Don't let those little moments of discouragement dictate the person that you're going to become. Don't let those things overrule your desire to be a certain way. Allow yourself to be discouraged. Allow yourself to be a little bit down, but ultimately come back to yourself. Come back to the truth of who you want to be, because that is what matters the most. When you find yourself in those moments where you are telling yourself, well, why would I do that? Nobody even cares. I want you to catch yourself in those moments and ask yourself, well, why does it matter that other people don't care? Ultimately, are you doing that thing for others to care, or are you doing it for yourself? And if you realize that, yes, there have been certain things in your life that you have been doing for others, and because they don't care, you actually want to stop, that's completely fine. But I never want you to stop doing something that means something to you, that is a reflection of who you want to be, of who you feel that you really want to be in this world. I never want you to stop doing those things because other people don't care. As long as you care, that's all that matters. As long as those things are making you develop in a way that you care for, that is all that matters. It doesn't matter if other people care or not. It doesn't matter if other people respond to it in a positive or negative way. What matters is that that thing means something to you. And also, when you find yourself in situations that you don't enjoy, where you're doing something that you have to do for someone else and you don't enjoy that particular thing, also try to change your perspective in those situations to find why doing that thing is benefiting you in some way, so that you don't feel that you're doing this for someone else. At the end of the day, everything that we do, we should be doing for ourselves. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're doing a specific something for someone else that you don't want to do, there is probably something that you would lose if you didn't do it. Because if you weren't going to lose something by not doing it, you wouldn't do it. So at the core, you're not doing that thing for that other person. You're doing it for yourself. And shifting your perspective from focusing on other people to focusing on what you're getting out of that thing is so powerful, because you realize that you are always winning something from the things that you're doing. Even if you're doing that thing that you're like, yeah, okay, well, but I'm only doing this for this other person because they asked me to do it. Well, always ask yourself, what if you don't do it? And if the answer to that is that you will lose something, then you are doing it for yourself. So be grateful when you're doing that thing because of what you're getting out of it. And if you don't enjoy doing it, then look for something else that is going to give you the same result. And I know that this is easier said than done. These things take time. Making decisions in life and switching gears takes effort, but it's always just an opportunity for you to be empowered about the different situations that we go through. So my invitation for you today is to regain control, is to bring yourself back to a state of mind where you decide that every little thing that you do in your life, you're doing it for you. And you're not doing it to create a specific reaction or a specific response from the outside world. You're doing it because that is just the person that you are, and doing those things make you feel proud of who you are, or they just make you feel good.